To make videos about the environment, one has to become one with the environment. I forgot to introduce myself in the last video. My name is Karan. I have some experience researching the environment and our climate. I worked on heat waves in India and also on heat stress in general, and I also did some work studying Himalayan forests. Now I want to make videos talking about the science of our environment. Today we're going to be talking about whale stress. But to understand whale stress, we first must begin with ourselves. Humans appear to live in a state of constant tragedy. Conflicts, violence, and injustice against people from all around the world that have no relation to us is able to reach us through our phones and affects us deeply. One would think that this is a uniquely human condition. Certainly, the bird population of this world does not mourn the death of an uncountable number of chickens every day for food, nor are they capable of being shocked when a bird species somewhere around the world goes extinct. Most social animals, including humans, are only able to make emotional connections with those individuals that are around them. It is only with the help of technology that human social reach has been able to expand to cover the entire planet. Whales come with this social technology to connect them across the great oceans of the world already built inside them. They travel great distances in pods with complex internal relationships. Their language of whale song can be heard miles away from them. They even appear to have culture because the whale songs that they communicate with appear to change and shift and evolve over time just as human culture does. And when one of them dies, the rest of them appear to go in some form of mourning. In reality, these behaviors are very different from their human analogues. Yet we remain eager to give poetic descriptions to these amazing creatures, describing them as understanding, intelligent, and ethereal. In science, whales are described as the sentinels of the marine world. Our fascination for them is only matched by our desire to kill them. It is believed that whaling, that is the killing of whales, has existed in its most primitive form since the 3000 BCE. As maritime technology advanced, it brought with it more efficient ways of killing whales, turning it from a subsistence indigenous hunting practice to a profitable industry. Seeing this in 1982, after whaling numbers had hit their peak at 80,000 individuals killed per year, the International Whaling Commission signed a moratorium on commercial whaling. This put a near ban on commercial whaling activities all across the world, with the exception of indigenous hunting practices and non-participating countries, of which there are three: Norway, Iceland, and Japan. The signing of the moratorium was crucial in the conservation of endangered whale species that face extinction due to the expanding whaling industry. But somewhat more interestingly, in 2018, 36 years after the moratorium was put in place, researchers found that the whaling industry was bad not just for the whales that they did kill, but also for the whales that survived them. And they found this using earwax. Yep, earwax. When whales said goodbye to their land-based existence, evolution did the bare minimum it possibly could to adapt their ears to their new submarine lifestyle. Wow, it has gotten really dark really quickly. I think it's gonna rain. We might have to go inside. I have decided to carry on. So, what did evolution do? Their outer ears closed up, but the inner ears remained completely intact, alongside the earwax, which still builds up inside the closed off ear canal. This means that when you're looking at the earwax of a whale, you're looking at its entire life history, like the rings of a tree. And recorded in that life history is every chemical that the whale was exposed to or was producing itself, including the hormone cortisol, also known as the stress hormone. Among the group of whales that were studied, there were 12 fin whales, 4 humpback whales, 4 blue whales. 12 of these whales were found in the Pacific Ocean and 8 of them were found in the Atlantic Ocean. Their ages were between 2 and 63 at the time of death. The researchers lined up the earwaxes of all the whales in chronological order and measured their cortisol levels. This told them that the stress levels of a whale was very, very closely associated to the number of whales being killed by the whaling industry, implying that any whales being killed anywhere in the world was causing a stress response in the entire population. This is not unlike how you might feel when you hear about a devastating natural disaster on the news. In addition to being the most depressing piece of science that I have ever heard of, it somehow also contains one of my favorite graphs. Graphs that have evidence of multiple unrelated things in the same piece of unrelated data are, in my opinion, some of the best graphs out there. We already know the first revelation that we can get from this graph. As whaling numbers go up, whale stress goes up. Simple relationship, easy to understand. But you may also notice that there are some discrepancies, notably here, when for a period of time the whaling numbers actually go down but the whale stress goes up. What's happening there? You can see if we expand this graph to show you the timeline, this period was 1940 to 1945, which is the period of World War II. Yep, the ruckus caused by underwater explosions and maritime warfare between ships and submarines also caused a stress response in whale populations. Finally, you can turn your attention to this conspicuously blank portion of this graph here. I have blanked this out myself, but if you reveal this, we find out that after the signing of the moratorium, whaling numbers basically drop to zero, but whale stress for some reason continues to rise. This is the final trick of this graph. What is causing this disturbance in relative whale paradise? It's climate change. Unsurprisingly, I think. The study demonstrated that sea surface temperatures, which have been rising at a steady rate of about 0.11 Celsius per decade, are very closely correlated with whale stress in that same time. This means that we've just replaced the stress of being killed with the stress of being in hot waters. It is important to note that these features are not conclusive evidence that whales are stressed out by war or by global warming. However, the strong correlation between whale hunting and whale stress implies that whales respond very quickly to threats in their surroundings. This makes it less likely that an increase in whale stress can be a mere coincidence. Even if our speculations prove to be wrong, they might lead us to other threats to whale population like ocean heat waves, microplastic pollution, ocean acidification, loss of sea ice, just to name a few. More than just sentinels of the marine world, I see whales as spirit guardians, like the divine elephant Airavat or the deer from Prince Mononoke. Whales embody the vast and interconnected spirit of the ocean, and we have to be so careful to protect it. The fact that the international community was able to come to an agreement in favor of the conservation of these beautiful animals gives me hope for all of the other environmental challenges we face today. To end, I want to credit the motivation for this work to the Sea Shepherd Foundation, who put their lives on the line to fight illegal whaling all around the world in true Princess Mononoke fashion. So check out their amazing work and learn more about these animals in the links provided in the description below.